What's good, gang? So today we've got a video talking about basically the best free-to-play team in Wuthering Waves. Now, I've seen Braxphone's video. I already know what team he used, and I do agree that team is very good. And if you don't know the team that I'm talking about, I'll go over it very quickly. Basically, his team, it was Sanhua, Yuan Wu, and also Bai Shi. Now, she is very good at buffing. Yuan Wu is really good at just having off-field DPS and just being a sub DPS support. Sanhua just does a lot of damage and also buffs Yuan Wu's damage too. So it just is a infinite loop of a bunch of buffs and damage. Now, she's a sub DPS that also buffs you. A lot of these buffers are also sub DPSs, so just keep that in mind. But basically what her outro skill does is it gives you a 38% basic attack damage deepen, similar to Mortefi, except instead of heavy attacks, it's specifically basic attacks. So in my opinion, I think she'll be more valuable, at least in this current meta, because she gives a basic attack damage bonus, which most of these characters are spamming basic attack. Tao Chi. Now, she gives you another outro skill bonus, which is she deepens your resonance skill damage, which is very good. I played with her a lot actually, and I do enjoy her playstyle because she has a parry like built in. So if you charge attack with her, it actually turns into a parry, similar to like, I guess, Beidou from Genshin Impact. Since her skill only heals herself and it's not really good for anybody else, it does increase her defense. Her counter is really good, but then you have to M1 3 times just for your damage to actually, you know, ramp up. So other than her outro skill, I wouldn't really consider her a support, but that is a very good bonus. Now, for main DPSs that are also 4-star, there is a lot of options. The main character is a very good one. I do really enjoy the MC because, well, she's just really strong. The MC does a lot of damage, very good, very respectable, and if you don't have like a 5-star DPS dealer or anything like that, then I would really recommend just using your MC. If you don't want to use the rover, that's fine. You can use a lot of other options, even Tao Chi or Danjin. She's really good. Danjin has a very risky playstyle, and I know a lot of people say that, but I'll just explain why. So basically, her skill, think of Hu Tao from guess what game? Yeah, that game. Basically, the lower health she has, the more damage she does, and also she will damage herself when you use her skill. If you use her in a character trial, you'll understand her skill more, but basically she works like this. If you attack one time and then use her skill, you're not going to be able to use it again. So you want to build it 3 times, and then you can skill 3 times. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over different teams because there is more than just that team. Now the starting team is very good. You could just use straight up just this, and you'll be fine. You'll be carried through the entire game. But this is a very underrated team that not a lot of people know about. And of course, I don't have the right team yet because I'm not high enough level. But basically, this is going to be the Mono Havoc team. And if you don't know, Havoc Rover is actually already in the game. All you gotta do is just get to level 21 and you can unlock them. Well, I guess just beat the story and you can unlock them. And the reason why this is so good is because Danjin is going to be already a very broken DPS. She does so much damage, especially at low HP, and it is going to take a bit more skill. It's really, really worth it to just play this, and if you get really good at the game, this is going to be one of the best teams, especially free to play, without any 5-star help, other than I guess you can count the Rover as a 5-star, but not really. But yeah, the reason this is so good is because Danjin has a Havoc damage deepen where when you outro skill with her, it will funnel that Havoc damage into another unit, and you can swap over to Tao Chi and you get your resonance skill damage deepen, and then you swap over to your Trailblazer, or good lord, I'm brain rotted. Swap over to your Rover, and after you do that, then your Rover will actually give you some Havoc res reduction, which is really good because then you can swap back into Danjin and get even more Havoc damage. And since Danjin and Tao Chi are already doing a lot of damage just by themselves, this team is already just permanently strong because this buffs both of them. You will need to have S4 in your Havoc Rover to actually get the most out of this, because that's when you get a bunch of Havoc res reduction. Now I'll showcase this team some other time on my channel, in the future once I actually get it. But in my opinion, the top 3 free-to-play teams are going to be Danjin, Havoc, Rover, and Tao Chi. And the other one is going to be Braxphone's team with Sanhua, Yuan Wu, and Baiji. But you can also replace them for Verena. Like, easily, Verena is just going to be better. And in my opinion, those are the 2 best teams. But there are some other good teams that you can mix and match if you don't have these characters. And I'll go over those in a second. And now I'll quickly go over their best builds. Of course, I don't have the best build because, you know, game just came out. But let's just go over it. So her best sword is going to be the Emerald of Genesis S1. And you can obtain that sword for free just by playing the game and getting to level 45. So right here in this 5-star weapon supply chest, you can get an Emerald of Genesis for free. I've heard that there's going to be another one that comes out and you can just pick another 5-star weapon in the future, but I'm not sure. Anyways, her second best in slot is actually this, Commando of Conviction, because what it does is when you use your intro skill, you get a attack bonus of 15% that lasts for 15 seconds for free, and then you can just swap out after 15 seconds. Also, you get a double attack boost. For the Tao Chi build, the best in slot for her weapon is going to be Dauntless Evernight because it gives defense, and this is the best for her because all of her moves basically scale off of defense. Literally everything scales off defense, so you're going to want as much defense as possible, and this is pretty much the only 4-star, or even actually there's no 5-stars that scale off defense right now. And also it has a when intro skill is released, increases attack by 8% and defense by 15%, lasting for 15 seconds. Very similar to the other weapon for Danjin. Now for the Rover in Havoc, I'm assuming that their best in slot is going to be also the Emerald of Genesis, the same as Danjin's preferred weapons basically, because they want kind of the same thing. So if you have 2 copies of that, or you know, if you have a Commando of Conviction and an Emerald of Genesis, or if you have 2 Commando of Convictions, then you can just build both of them. But those are going to be the best 2 for both of them. Since they are both DPS, this is going to be just like a full DPS team. It just does insane damage. That's just how it works. And then after those 15 seconds, you just rotate out and continue that swap. Now, the last thing I want to say for this best, I guess, team list is if you can't play a team like this, then you don't have to. It's just that this team does the most DPS. If you're playing it optimally with, like, if we're saying everything is the best all across the board for all these teams, then this one is going to be doing the best. You could probably swap it out for a buffer, like maybe more Teffy or something. But if you can't play this game without a healer, then you really don't have to. It doesn't really matter. This game isn't supposed to be crazy serious. It's really not that deep. So if you want to use a healer in a different team, then you might as well just use a healer team, like either the starter team, or you could use that team with Sanhua, Yuan Wu, and Baiji. So it really just depends on what you're comfortable with, your playstyle, and I guess skill level. So yeah, that's going to be about it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.